Adventure Brad here, and I'm with Phil from Down to Mob Overland and Brian from Colorado Backcountry Adventures. Both these guys are full-time on the roaders. Brian's been doing it for 4 years now, and Phil's only been doing it this winter. But yeah, living the dream out here. You know, it's just us, our only neighbors. And it's kind of neat when you're out here. You run into like-minded people. So we're gonna sit around the table here and just do a little BSing about, you know, what we like and what we enjoy, and welcome. So we're a couple of guys here that live on the road, and we all have different ways of going about it. We got Phil's rig here that's obviously, you know, it's the mansion on the hill right now. Yep. But we all have different ways of going about it. Brian's rig, and you guys will all get shots of our rigs here, is very minimalist, you know, very refined rig. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel that I'm somewhere in the middle between the two rigs.
Totally.
But let's go over some of these questions that everyone has. How we go to the bathroom, how do we shower, how do we cook, you know, how do we make money, how does this stuff all work out? So, yeah, you know, Brian, where do you take a dump in the morning?
Yeah, right. Well, so that's something that's kind of ever changing. I recently started using a cassette toilet. I don't know if you guys have, and mainly because I was at King of the Hammers. It's a huge event, and you know the porta potties are really far away, and everyone's all packed. So that's been interesting. It feels kind of weird how small it is, and you just kind of tuck it away. But as far as like smell, I know everyone talks about that. It just smells like.
It's in here right now.
Yeah.
I don't smell it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I pass that test.
Yeah. So that's convenient, but at the same time, I like to not use that. I like to just go out.
If you have the option.
Dig a hole and.
Yeah,
that's my favorite for sure. I know that's Brian.
Yeah. How's the dumping of it? Is that an issue when you have to?
That's the worst part for sure.
That's why you avoid it then.
Well, yeah.
You avoid using it because then you have to dump it.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the reason why I avoid using it.
Okay. Now, Brian, I'm pretty sure I know what's up with you, but let's explain this.
Yeah, definitely. You know, in the summer, spring, summer, and fall, I'm usually doing trail work for the U.S. Forest Service. And so I'd be back there in the backcountry, and, you know, I carry the E-tool with me and, you know, an entrenchment tool. And so it's easy just to dig a six-inch hole anywhere, especially in the Colorado Rockies. The soil's really easy to break into and stuff like that. So just do that. Just pack out your toilet paper.
Yeah, okay.
You know, or I would burn the toilet paper at camp.
Yeah.
If I was going to be back there for a while. Mm-hmm. So I got really used to doing that. And then it's like when I come back into civilized society or whatever you want to call it, and there's like toilets and stuff like that, I'm like, wow, this is nice, man.
You feel high class.
Sit down, it's all comfortable and everything. Yeah. That's all right.
You're like, so where does the water come from?
Yeah.
See, and I'm always...
How big's the tank?
Yeah.
I'm a little weird about that. I feel like an old miner and going out and like I like to have a view.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing, like, you know, I can't get this view in the city, so it's like, you know, I'll put up with not having a toilet seat at times.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part too.
So I guess I need to talk about you don't have any road options. When you're on the road, your option is the bush.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. My road option's a bucket. Yeah. And it's not very glamorous, but you know, a couple of trash bags in a bucket, and it works pretty good for me.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, when I'm out somewhere, and what do people do with their kids' diapers? And throw them in the trash can. So I'm a trash can. Like
Yep. Well, what I found, what I'll do in the wintertime is that if I'm winter camping and if I don't have any like you know, of like the bags that have the waste in it, or I'm sorry, the gel in it that encapsulates it. If I don't have any of those, then I'll just like, you know, deuce into a plastic bag. but then I have all the ash from the stove box. So you just take ash and throw it in there as long as it's not hot, and it covers it all up, and you can't smell anything.
Yeah, that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
So I mean, just to be real,
I think a lot of it too. Like you eat really healthy, and like I think a
try
lot of it is you have your snacks.
It depends on edibles or not.
Yeah, right. But I think like being active, the lifestyle of being on the road, I think you have a lot more consistent bowel movements. If we're honest, if we're talking about it,
no, exactly. And it's I don't know.
And that helps you become more healthy. That's I think a big benefit people don't think of. They just think of the discomfort, but it's cool to have a really cool view. Like you said, I've had some really cool.
It just sucks in the wintertime, like especially the ground's frozen and you try to dig a cat hole, you're like, you're not gonna get one 6 inches deep. So
that's why
you have to carry those waste bags or something.
Yeah. That's
because
why
of
I
the
was
hassle.
using, if I'm honest, my cassette toilet
Yeah.
when it's been snowing, because
Yeah.
I'm like, it's snowing out here. I got the heater in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So showers, how do I noticed you have a nice shower tube on the side of your rig. How's that work out?
Oh, it's
when do you
great.
shower?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I'll get like cold creek water about 7 a.m. Load it up into the road shower. It's a 5-gallon reservoir.
Wow. Okay,
And
it's a lot
then-
more than I thought it was.
Yeah, and then as it heats up, of course it expands, so it pressurizes itself. And then by I would say 10:30, 11 a.m. It's up to about 104 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really comfortable, man.
And what air temperature?
I would say around 70, 75.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as you have direct sun,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
bakes
those
down
things are
that bakes down that tube and just really heats it up fast.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the nozzle, you can go anywhere from like straight on the stream to like shower, spray, like mist spray.
Yeah,
stuff
and
like
it's
that.
variable, so you can Navy shower and
Yep.
it's good serve.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So
People
it's really
do-
great.
Now-
Homemade ones of those too.
Yeah,
I've seen.
with PVC pipe.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And what do you use for soap?
I usually get like some sort of like earth salts or like mud clay soaps, like real gentle soaps,
Okay, all right.
like all organic stuff, and that seems to go best with my skin because I have a lot of allergies.
Okay, yeah, so it cooperates good with you, and
Yeah.
it doesn't leave a sudsing, mussy issue or anything.
No,
yeah.
not at all. It's actually kind of like suds less almost. You can't really tell unless it's on your skin, and then
That
you
it's soap kind of
yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty mellow. What about you guys?
So yeah, for my shower, I have the Webasto heaters. Also, it's dual top, so it heats the water, but that's not really working right now.
Okay.
When I got the rig, that wasn't quite working right. But anyways, if I have the heater going, it heats the tank up enough to where the water's
Not cold?
bearable. Yeah. And then if I really, really want like really hot shower, I have this. It's a really cool nozzle I got off eBay. It's just like a shower nozzle with a battery at the end, and it's just a pump. It actually puts out really good pressure, and I
Okay.
could boil some water and boil up a big thing in the cast iron and then throw it in like a 5-gallon bucket and take a pretty good shower that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
but I like to honestly go without a shower for a few days. I think
Yeah.
everyone that does this is kind of like,
Kind of the way it goes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a shower every second or third day when I'm on the road, kind of. It's just,
yeah,
one, because of the hassle, and if you don't break a sweat, you don't feel grimy.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
If I'm in the desert camping, I like to do a creosote campfire.
Mhm.
So creosote bushes
Yeah.
in the campfire that smoke's got antibacterial and all that. So I kind of
Cool, yeah,
get the
Yeah.
smoke up under there, and
Yeah.
you really feel refreshed.
yeah.
And then everyone knows about baby wipes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I have some baby wipes too.
Yeah.
that-
And word to the wise, the Lysol wipes that you would use to clean off the table and stuff,
those are
keep
okay.
them away from the private parts.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say
The soft bits do not do well
yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
No, those
So
are
I
no
would think
good.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so it's and I shower just off the pump out of the water of my truck. I originally
Yeah.
planned to have a heater in it. The heater that I ordered was one of those on-demand camper ones,
Yeah.
and every time it started, it threw this Chernobyl mushroom cloud out of it.
Yeah.
And the neighbors
Really
thought I
fucking
was doing
dope.
tricks when I was out there testing it because it just kept going.
That's funny.
So I decided that wasn't going in the camper and sent that back. And I do the cold shower with the on-demand pump for my sink and all
Yeah.
that, and I just
Yeah.
Navy shower. It was cold and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I found when I was at the off-grid cabin last winter, I could even just take 1 gallon of really warm water and use like a cup and do like a really good shower. Just with 1 gallon.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah, the
ama-
bird
I was
bath.
amazed at how much you can get clean
Mhm.
and feel like super clean, like
Mhm.
legit. The other thing I love doing was that I go to the sauna room, which was it was an outbuilding, so it was like probably 40 yards or 30 yards from the main cabin. But I go back in there, do a sauna for like 45 minutes, come back to the cabin, and it'd be like snowing like a motherfucker outside, and like super cold. And then I would have in front of the stove, I'd have like a tub in there with water that I already pre-warmed up. But then I would have like the shower water that had been warming over the stove.
Mhm.
And then do like a bath shower in front of the
the sauna.
well, no, in front of the wood stove.
Okay, well, yeah.
Like after I come in from the sauna. Like, and then like have the wood stove, the front of it open, so all the coals, it's like really warm and stuff like that. And if
That's
you're doing that, and it's like you're listening to a good podcast or good music, and the
Yeah.
snow's coming down, you don't have cell reception, you're just like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah,
Yeah,
you know?
That's awesome.
Like
Yeah.
no one has a pulse on you back in.
Yeah, and it's, everyone sets the standard kind of at that nice tiled in, hot, steamy shower. And while that is great, those points that you just hit on, it's like you went through this wonderful process of taking a shower. You
Yeah.
just didn't like just jump in around taking a shower.
Yeah.
Oh, you went and you soaked in a sauna, you relaxed, you're
Yep.
listening to a podcast, you're just, you're breathing this fresh
Totally
air.
mellow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that there's a
It's
lot to
totally
be said
different.
for cleaning the soul and, keeping
Yeah.
yourself happy that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Well, and so you had a hard side truck camper, big one, right? Did you have an indoor shower?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you had like what everyone dreams, at least in my mind, of having everything you want,
Yeah.
and you kind of downsize from that.
Well,
I think
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
The shower mainly
People-
was I stored boots in there and hung wet jackets. Like
Yeah.
that's what it was for. And then
Yeah.
I'd have to move all that stuff out to take a shower. And it's like, man, I'd rather kind of put up with cold water than to deal with moving all this stuff. And
Yeah.
for many reasons, I ditched that truck camper and
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
the simplicity of
Cool.
it. And I think we all are going to end up heading in,
Yeah,
the
more
less is
simplistic.
more.
Yep,
Just less
Yeah,
to worry about,
totally.
less hassle.
totally.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that start out with big rigs and real comfortable stuff, but they're like, man, the inconvenience of
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not being as nimble.
Mhm.
Yeah, you got to worry about bushes
Yeah.
and, you're.
Fuck, a lot longer setup time.
Oh, yeah.
You get to
Yeah,
camp and it
that's-
takes forever
that's
to set
huge.
up and stuff like that. And you're like, you just want to hop in and be good.
Yeah.
you know?
I'm here, relax, and it makes traveling and inclement weather or
Yeah.
accidents and incidents a lot easier to deal with because you just know that you just stop and there's a bed
Yeah.
and a warm meal. And
Yep.
Yeah.
so, yeah, what do you guys eat when you're on the road? How do you?
I do. I'm kind of a creature of habit when it comes to food. I do these bacon breakfast burritos every morning, and dude, they're so good.
I smelled
then-
it this morning.
Yeah.
World famous.
Oh yeah, they are.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
All the buzzards
No
around.
joke.
Yeah. Oh man, it's
I
so
felt the good vibes. Mine was amazing. I don't know. It's the best one I've had.
So I'll do that, and then for lunch, usually like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with some fruit.
Okay.
Since I'm usually on the trail. Then at night, I'll do like tuna and sweet potato and asparagus all like grilled up, and that's great dinner.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Then usually for snacks, like lots of like chunky peanut butter and stuff like that.
No. Okay.
Cookie-
Yeah.
Cookies,
Yeah.
You
The chocolate chip
know.
cookie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's good
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. And then
What
now,
about
what do you do on the road? I saw you had a nice little stove and kitchen set up. I'm kinda
Yeah,
jealous of.
having the oven is really cool. Biscuits and gravy is definitely my favorite breakfast. It's pretty hearty though, so like you don't want to do that too much.
Yeah.
I love bacon, like Brian. I don't know about as much, but close.
Yeah,
Um,
mine's an unhealthy obsession.
Yeah. Well, this is not a vegan campsite.
Right?
No.
Oh, thank God. But yeah, when I'm at home, I don't usually wake up and cook a huge breakfast. But when I'm camping, like I think it's good to have a good big breakfast, some eggs for sure. But I'm relatively new to it too, so I just am kind of figuring all that out. But I just got a cast iron skillet, and Brian has the same kind of setup. It's like a pot and a skillet. It goes together, so you can kind of cook on the fire with it if you want. But yeah, I'm always I like to have like cold cuts too. You can make just sandwiches, so you don't have to cook. Like I think it's so fun to cook, but it's also good to have those options where if the weather's crappy, or
Yeah.
especially if you don't have perfect indoor kitchen setup, or if
Well,
you
and I might add, we
Yeah.
both have sinks inside and
Yeah.
fridges.
Uh-huh.
You
Nope.
have an ice chest in the
Yep.
outdoors.
Yep.
yeah,
So it's
and a bed and
Yeah.
well that just
cozy.
it kind of sets up what kind of meal choices you're going to have.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what
good
direction
point.
you try to take things or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
I mean, like I can cook stuff in my topper, but it's real tight, and I usually don't want to because
Yeah.
like the smells can linger over, especially in the summertime.
yeah.
I'm cooking, I'm camping in bear territory and stuff like that, so you got to be mindful of that.
yeah,
But in the wintertime, it's no problem to like cook some bacon in there, and also it's like I have two backpacking stoves, so I can have two little one burners going at the same time. So I can heat up water for oatmeal and have bacon going at the same time, so I can time them to be done at the same time, and then I have bacon with oatmeal and stuff like that.
Yeah. There you go.
With coffee.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
hand pressed coffee.
yeah,
Kind of make yourself human, feel human
Yeah.
yeah,
as much as possible.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. I saw you setting up coffee this morning, and
The
it's,
AeroPress.
oh yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
This is my first time using it today.
Oh,
For
like,
me,
how
a
long
big
have you had
thing.
it?
like 4 years.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
For me, a big thing when I went from the camper down to the smaller, just the enclosed rig, is I wanted a sink.
Yes.
Like I could deal with just like how you're saying, like the bare minimum cooking. I don't cook bacon inside, but I'll do eggs inside, and I'll boil water for tea and oatmeal and instant meals and that sort of thing. You know, grilled cheese or a hot ham sandwich or something I'll do inside, but anything that's gonna splatter I won't, for the same mess, smells, bears, all the above.
Yeah.
And why not stand there in the morning and just cook this nice breakfast with this view that we're welcome to?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how can you beat that?
Mhm.
But so there's so many things that I'm really kind of jealous of, because feeling like a human, I like having my fridge and going over and get a string cheese out and cold juice or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate how you refine that so far to the point where you're happy and you're eating well.
Yeah.
But you're doing it out of ice chest and in the back of your camper, and it's
Yeah.
and
It takes some tweaking.
yeah, and it's attitude and it's the tweaking. It's you got to change your meal choices a little bit in your meal prep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. But it's totally doable.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you guys like waste and all that sort of thing? Just kind of do you use disposable stuff? Do you use washable stuff every time? How do you?
All my cookware is washable.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest.
Yeah, I hate using disposable stuff, but I have accumulated so much through like, oh, my mom's like, oh, here's these paper plates, or you go camping, right? And I never buy it, but I still have some. So once I run through that, I'm gonna be all washable. I don't like to buy that stuff. I think it's kind of silly, but
Well, I'm kind of the same way. I got a bunch of paper plates and stuff I've been trying to just go through, but at the same time, it's just like a lot of waste. I don't mind it too much when I have a campfire.
Plates.
Oh no,
Christmas.
is that?
They were paper plates from Christmas.
Oh, were they? Nice.
My mom's like, here you go.
Yeah, but when you have a campfire and stuff, it's not terrible to run 2 trash bags, one of burnable stuff, and
That is nice.
like you alluded to earlier with the waste and all that.
Yeah.
But that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So-
I have the trasharoo on the back of the dirt bike that's rather than spare tire. But the trasharoo, I mean, it's so like cliche in the Overland world, but they're so cool. Do you have your trash outside? They're huge.
Yeah.
Fit like almost like 2 full trash bags in
And
there.
they're durable. You're not worried about ripping on the trail and coming off
Yeah.
and leaving a mess.
Yeah, and they
They're
got an
durable.
outside pocket, like you can put your shoes if they're wet, or I really like the trasharoo for trash. Yeah.
They got a good reputation.
Yeah.
So what started you guys on this adventure? Why?
Yeah, that's
Like,
the best.
it's
that's
all
the
cool.
meat
We
and
all like
potatoes.
all like watching videos, and everyone likes National Geographic and seeing this stuff. But why did you guys make the jump to go, hey, this is kind of cool. Let's just do it. Why'd you do it, Brian?
I just got tired of the corporate bullshit, to be honest with you. Because, like, I was in the corporate world, I was killing it, and I just didn't care about what I was doing. And I felt that it was kind of pathetic to identify myself with what I did or what I owned. And
Not have your heart in it, or
no, I just didn't have my heart in it, and I kept on thinking, like, man, there's something more out there. And every time I go camping, I'd feel that something. And I was like, man, I could do this full time. And I started testing it. I'd go out for 2 weeks at a time. I wouldn't tell anybody that I'd be out, But you have cell reception in most places. You have data connectivity through your cell phone with a wireless hotspot. You can get on your computer, send emails, check emails. So you can go and operate. You just have to tweak it for living in the backcountry and doing this full time. And then once I started doing it more and more, and I'd go out for like a month, and then I'd go out for 2 months, and nobody'd say anything. They wouldn't think that there was any difference between me sitting in my house or me being in Utah or New Mexico or
so it just started
Colorado.
evolving.
Yeah. Then finally one day, there was a neighbor who had some friends in town, and the friend was like, "Oh man, I would love to rent a house like this." I'm like, "You want it? I'll be out in like 3 weeks." She's like,
Perfect.
"Deal." And I was like, "Sweet." And I just sold all my shit and just hit the road.
That's
There you
awesome.
go.
Yeah, and then I just figured it out when I was on the road. So I tweaked things accordingly. Just kind of hit the road.
Figured it out's the key.
Yeah.
So
Figure it out.
Phil, why'd you jump off the cliff?
Yeah, so a little backstory. Like I work was big for me for 6-7 years. I had a dirt bike shop that was a lot of fun, and it wasn't all about making the money. It was all about the experience and the different activities and things I could do with that. And then I had kind of like Brian, went in the corporate world, and essentially just kind of sick of that grind. I was in finance, so I would talk to people about like their retirements specifically.
Yeah.
And what do you want to do when you decide not to work anymore? what's this all leading up to? Are you, because clearly, you know, some of them, maybe they were cool, doing cool things as they work, but most of them really just had this big thing they wanted to get. They didn't really know what it was. And then a lot of times it was like, oh, travel, or, you know, a lot of times it was like, well, why don't you just do that now?
A generic.
Yeah.
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 That's really just over and over those conversations for about 3 years every day made me think.
You started
Do it
asking
now.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where
And-
you wanted to be.
And my brother had, you know, some health, there's some family and some friends that had, you know, some crazy health scares, and it was just like, that was an eye opener. And yeah, I love being outside. It's kind of like Brian was saying, the feeling you get, the simplicity of, you know, you wake up here, you're like, I'm still getting used to it because I'm new at it too. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do I do? Oh, well,
Yeah. You're like,
you're doing
I
it,
feel like
man.
I need to do something right now.
Yeah. And that,
you kind of wake up and almost feel like you have to be rushed
yeah,
because that's what you did when you were in the corporate world.
yeah,
But yeah, you get up and you don't have to be rushed. You know, so you can take an hour and a half to cook breakfast.
yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Like, hang out, make some
Have
bacon,
fun,
and you're like,
yeah.
I ate it all. I gotta make some more. And
Wander around
make
and
some
stare
more,
at
you know, and
things
yeah.
And there's no
Yeah.
lawn to cut. There's no chores to do. There's no big house to clean.
Yeah.
It's all, we could all clean our rigs perfectly for a walkthrough or pictures in an hour, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or less.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Way less.
And
sometimes, yeah.
yeah, it's neat having those options, and there's a lot of burdens that are put on you, and then there's a lot of things that are just like you said, there's no grass to cut. You know, there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that you just get away from.
Yeah.
So what are things that you kind of expected to be a problem or thought were going to be a problem and just weren't? Like what were you really prepared for that you just thought this was going to be terrible? This was going to be my personal heart. Like, you know, some people it's going to the bathroom in the woods or
Yeah.
anything like that. What was?
I think I
What-
think I have a lot of things like that to come. So I
Okay.
can't
So
wait
it's
to
not
follow
one-
up with you on this. But I have one right now, and that is cold. The cold came. I'm from Canada. I should be used to the cold, but I grew up in Arizona, and I was really honestly afraid of like camping in snow or the cold, like how I was gonna be comfortable. And this past couple days has been awesome, and that's like a challenge. The whole thing's a challenge, and there's little mini challenges in it,
Yeah.
and you overcome each one, and then you realize I can go further. I can.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's like you're flying a paramotor, or you're
Mhm.
you know you're doing
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
You're hiking
things change.
8 miles to some ruins, or you know,
Yeah.
like you're just doing cool stuff,
Yeah, definitely.
meeting cool people too. Like it's.
What
it's
about
just-
you, Brian? Anything that you were just like mentally in your head, like this is going to be the thing that I'm going to have to worry about?
You know, I wasn't so much.
It's been so long ago, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so much like stuff to worry about. I had been testing it for so long that in all seasons, springs, you know, summer, fall, winter, and I thought I've got this thing figured out. The only thing was, I think I didn't expect it to be so physically taxing. You know, because I thought like, oh, I've done this on, you know, I've gone out and tested it. Well, yeah, but I'd always go back to the house, you know, and recoup and then go out again.
Yeah.
And when you're on the road constantly, like after a while, you just get kind of tired.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you have like this, I don't have a home feeling, like nowhere just to go back and like, and just relax? How do you deal with that?
A little bit, yeah. You know, I've got friends and stuff like that. You know, I go crash at their places and definitely have that. I can stretch out as long as I want, feel and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but you're right though. You don't have that feeling of your own place to go to. But then again, it's like I see people bitching about how they want to get away from their place, and I mean, I had
It's
the
a
same.
ball and chain too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had those exact same experiences when I had the house, you know, and I can't wait to go on a vacation from where I live and everything. And so I look at it as
Isn't
a
that weird?
trade-off.
Well, it's compromises.
Yeah.
It's like with
Yeah.
rig builds and all that, you know, you got to
Yeah.
weigh
Yeah.
stuff out.
Yeah, definitely.
So what has blindsided you? Something you never expected that, you know, isn't a problem or comes up? Is it dealing with mail or,
No,
you know,
that's actually
have an address or any of that? Do you have issues with any of that?
No, that's been easy. I just go through UPS.
Okay.
You get a mailbox. It's actually a physical address. Register all your stuff to that, and you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And they'll like forward it to different locations?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. You just call them up and say, "Hey, I'm in Sedona. Can you send a general delivery here?" That's like, yeah. You just go pick up the post office.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
Cool.
that's a good service to use.
Yeah.
Okay. And what
That's
about you?
Yeah, I haven't really. I still have my parents' address on everything.
Okay.
Anything, you know, I've been kind of close to home, still taking care of selling the Jeep and selling some things off.
Rolling through.
So I've been able to, mail hasn't been a thing I've really thought a lot about, but I think, yeah, for Amazon's great for drop boxes and stuff. Like, you could order anything you need as far as that's concerned. And then, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out. I'm kind of excited to not have to think about mail much. And my parents are, they're excited about
junk mail,
the idea.
no.
Yeah. So they'll help me out to kind of sift through that. And
Cool.
help secretary for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
Well, and unfortunately, that's kind of why I'm on the road. I lost my mom, and my mom she was awesome at being that person. She would just, be my front man. If I caught into bad weather or something, I could just send her a text, be like, hey, I'm heading this direction. Can you get me a hotel room?
Yeah.
I'll show up and she'll send me a text back, hey, you got a hotel room at this place and address. And, having something like that was just completely awesome.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
Oh.
But yeah, we were chatting today about that. It's a pretty empowering story for you too.
Yeah.
And like you've got a heck of a history around the country too, and it just seems you're living it up, man. It's cool to see. Yeah.
I thank my mom a lot for that. She was just very much a free spirit.
Yeah.
But it's just I hate how people think a 3-4 hour road trip is like this epic. Like, I'm across the just nation. Like, it's just like, that's the furthest most people have been from their home. And to me, it takes 3 or 4 states till I'm settled into the seat. So it's like, it's your perspective changes and your attitude changes a lot. And I think that's maybe why none of us really have these huge problems, because we didn't just all of a sudden decide to jump into living in an RV. We're either been campers or 4-wheelers and all that. So we kind of evolved into it, which is a lot different than most people. But, You still have things you struggle with and that sort of thing, but the neat thing is like, you guys knew each other, and I just showed up, hey, camp here, and it's just kind of, you meet.
And we met 2 days ago.
Yeah.
From YouTube.
Well, yeah, but you meet.
So it's so cool.
You meet
to your point,
like-minded people. You could sit around. You have common interests and things you could share about, and we could, sit here and just hang out. And
It's tea, by the way, not like
but
40.
I'm not swinging back. It's not whiskey either.
Right? That's great.
Well, we could sit here. The snow could fall outside, and it's great company to keep. Most people sit at home and watch some people try to sing some old hippie song or whatever. Like, we're just live the life. Don't sit there and watch it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's a good amount of I think like Instagram, social media, all that stuff helps people get in the mindset and gets pumped up. And since I'm so new, that's still a lot of what I think about is what it took to get here even. And it was probably 2 years ago that I said, I'm for sure doing it. You have to do it. Commit everything, start saving, start selling, start thinking about the rig. I bought an RV, I gutted it, I sold it. I said, this isn't right. I bought this rig. Like, people think,
that's the very good point. You have to make everyone always, camping stuff, but don't you have all this gear just to go camping? It's like you have a car, right? Yeah. You have a comforter on your bed, right?
Yeah.
Here's how you go camping. Get a sandwich from, KFC or whatever.
Yeah.
Take your comforter, you drive somewhere, you park, put it in park, you are now camping. It is not complicated. People do not, it's not this magical thing. You don't have to have the whole catalog full of gear. It's attitude. And when you go to do these things, and it could be a trip, it could be going to live on the road, but you need to decide to put this down. And it's a very common thing. There has to be a point, and a lot of times it's a trigger. It's where you're working, or a family member dies or something. You just decide, I got only so many days left on this earth, and I need to use them properly. So and no matter where you're at in life, I think if everyone just took the moment to make that decision to go, hey, I'm going to go after that goal. It's not too late. I'm going to make it happen. And you just start working to those means to get there. And, you still got a little stuff, loose ends. I have loose ends, and you're pretty much just full time. But making that jump, and it's a neat, empowering feeling, like when you first get through that. Like when you first get out there and you're just like, you camp on your own, you survive, and, a couple things come up, and I could do this. I didn't die. I got my fingers.
I didn't die. Exactly.
So
pushing yourself. That's what everyone loves.
And you find more about yourself. And I would hate to go through life and be, them throwing dirt over me, and never knew if I could do that.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Totally.
Trust me. known you not long, and I know you've lived an epic life for sure. Got some cool stories.
You only got one, so you got to live it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but you, like, how long, I'm curious too, I've never even thought of that. How long did you said like your friends wanted to rent your house? Like, was that pretty quick?
Yeah, it was like a 1 month window.
So literally 1 month you said, I'm going full time, and then
Yep.
a month later you were there.
Yeah, and 1 month
Yeah.
later, and everybody was
cool.
like, "What the fuck?" You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
like my dad one time he called me up. He's like, "Brian, can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "When you hit the road, was it because was somebody after you, like the mafia,
It was so quick.
or the IRS or something?" I'm like, "No, dude." I'm like,
Why? Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no, everything's fine, man. But I was like, "But thanks for the,
Yeah.
thanks for the concern."
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
it was kind of funny.
It's funny to hear, because I'm at the point where people are like, when are you going? I thought you said you were going. And I'm like, I gotta get this thing's perfect, you know.
Yeah.
And everyone has their own balance, though. But I
Yeah.
think getting out and doing it, we were talking about that last night. And I'm not fully there either, but this trip, the trips I've had just to get out and test it even, and then go back to the comfort, like you
Yeah.
said, but just the testing's important too, I think. And,
Oh, testing's huge.
yeah, for sure.
And it lets you know
Build
what
your confidence.
Yeah,
in it, too.
and like what you're comfortable with now.
Yeah.
And then you can test it a little bit more and push it a little bit harder, and
Yeah.
get extend the seasons a bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Refine your rig, your setup. You get back and back
Yep.
to a place where you could tools and saws. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna do this, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this away. And I don't
But
need that.
like you were talking about the windows, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to make it a little bit
there's-
bigger, stuff like.
There's so many,
Just
so
little
many
things.
little tweaks.
Compromises.
Yeah, a little bit bigger windows. I could see a little bit more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, guys. I appreciate sitting down with you guys and chatting and
Yeah.
Yeah,
having a
dude.
chance to hang out. And
Super cool.
it's
Yeah,
always neat neighbors we find
impromptu.
out here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out Brian here at
Yep.
Colorado Backcountry Adventures
Yep.
and Phil at Down to Mob Overland.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
yeah, I'm Adventure Brad. You guys have a good one.
Thanks a lot.